Anansi's Fishing Expedition, made by
Mary,
Nate,
Sarah,
and Cooper.
Anansi was a trickster. Oh, he was a fine boy, but he was a trickster. Someone you had to watch out for, or he would trick you into doing something you didn't want to do. He was a very clever boy indeed.
But one day, Anansi decided that he would like to have some fish. If he had lots of fish, he thought, he could sell some in the marketplace and have some to eat for himself. But catching the fish would take lots of work. He would have to build traps and set them and check on them every day. That would be a lot of work.
I know, I'll get myself a partner.
So Anansi hurried into the village to ask everyone if they would be his partner. Of course, everyone knew about Anansi the trickster, so of course everyone turned him down.
Nobody wanted to go into business with Anansi because they were sure that they would come out the loser. They knew that they would be cheated by Anansi the trickster.
After many people turned him down, Anansi decided to do something different.
What I need is a fool to be my partner.
Well, it just so happened that Onini was in the marketplace. He heard Anansi's declaration and walked over to him.
I have heard that you were looking for a partner to go fishing. That is true. I have a wonderful idea for business, but I need a partner to make it work. Perhaps you and I could be partners together. What would we do as partners, Anansi? We would have a fishing partnership, my friend. A fishing partnership.
Everyone tried to warn Onini that Anansi was going to cheat him, but Onini just smiled and said nothing.
The next morning, Anansi and Onini went into the forest. They went to a place where there were some nice reeds that were just perfect for building fish traps. Onini took out his knife.
Because we are partners, we must share the work. I shall begin to cut the reeds for building the traps. What shall I do? Why, you shall get tired from me, of course. If I get to cut the reeds, I see no reason why you have to get tired. What? I do not think that is such a great idea. Why don't you let me cut the reeds and you can get tired? As you wish.
Anansi worked all day in the hot sun, cutting the reeds. While he was cutting, Onini stretched his arms and rubbed his muscles as if to ease the pain.
Now what? Well, we must weave the reeds into traps for the fish. I shall weave the traps, and you shall have sore fingers and sore neck from all the work. Oh no, this is a partnership. I shall weave the traps, and you shall have a sore neck and sore fingers for me. Very well, as you wish.
The weaving of the traps took a long time. The entire time, Anansi kept looking over at Onini, thinking that he was such a fool. Finally, the traps were finished, and Onini began to collect them.
Wait, what are you doing? Well, someone has to take the traps out into the water. Since we are partners, I thought I would take them out and set them. Well, then what shall I do? Well, I know that there are many sharks out there. If I get attacked by the shark, then as my partner, you should die for me. Wait a minute. I will take the traps out into the water and set them. Then if the shark attacks me, you should die.
The traps were set in the water, which took a long time. The two partners walked back to the village. Anansi couldn't help looking at his partner. Every now and then, Onini would stop and run his shoulders or rub his arms and groan. Anansi felt very sorry for all the pain his friend was having.
The next morning, the two partners met once again. It was Anansi who went out to the traps to collect the fish so that he would not have to die if Onini was attacked. There were two large fish in the traps.
Let us divide the fish. You shall take one, and I shall take one. Oh no, my partner. You can have both of these fish. I am sure that there will be more fish tomorrow. You can have these, and I will take the fish we catch tomorrow. I have a better idea. Why don't you take these, and I will take what we get tomorrow? Okay, as you wish. I will take these fish.
The next morning, when the two partners went out to their traps, there were 4 fish.
I think you were a fool to take those 2 fish yesterday. Look at how many fish I have today. I'm very excited for you, because that means that I will get all the fish we catch tomorrow. And I am sure that there'll be many fish tomorrow. I tell you what. Why don't you take these 4 fish, and I'll take what we catch tomorrow? As you wish, my friend, my partner.
The next morning, Anansi waded out and collected the traps for the last time. They were beginning to rot and would not hold up for another day of fishing. But when they looked inside the traps, there were 8 glorious fish inside.
Look, my friend, if you had waited one day, all these fish would have been yours.
But Onini was not looking at the fish. He was looking at the rotted fish traps.
That is fine. Take your fish. Take them quickly from the traps. I want to get these traps to the market while they are still in fine shape.
Anansi looked at the traps. They were falling apart. They were beginning to smell. They were in terrible condition. Anansi was a little suspicious of his friend.
What do you mean when you say these traps are in excellent condition?
Why, these traps will fetch a handsome price at the market. A very handsome price indeed.
Wait a minute, I made these traps myself.
I know, but I think that if you were going to keep all those fish, then the least you can do is let me take the traps.
No. I will keep the traps and you can keep all the fish.
Anansi gathered up all the traps and set off for the market. When he arrived, he told everyone of his good fortune and how he had tricked his friend Onini.
But then he tried to sell the rotting traps.
Nobody wanted the rotting, smelly traps. Nobody wanted anything to do with them.
It was then that Anansi realized that it was he who had been tricked. The trickster had been tricked by an even greater trickster.
Soon all the people were laughing at Anansi. Soon all the people were making fun of Anansi.
When Onini arrived at the market, everyone cheered. Everybody clapped their hands.
Oh, Anansi was a trickster, all right. Oh, he was a fine boy, but he was a trickster. Someone you had to watch out for. He would trick you into doing something you didn't want to. He was a very clever boy indeed.